I'm not sure a whole lot of guys, after looking at that performance against Jack Della Maddalena with all those nasty knees that were coming up the middle, are going, I think it's a good idea to shoot a double leg from the outside against Carlos Prates. Like, that might be a suicide mission, to go in there and try to tackle those legs, those knees. That is one of the most effective uses of knees that I have seen. Maybe the most effective usage of knees that I've seen since Anderson Silva, and a variety of knees, not just from the clinch or from the tie plum. He's throwing long knees from the outside, Muay Thai style, and typically you don't see a whole lot of guys have that level of success. He was crushing Jack to the body. He was crushing Jack upstairs to the head. Like, and being 6'3", my goodness.
Yeah.
The way Islam beat Jack was not nearly as impressive as what Carlos Prates did the other day. Now, it was impressive. He made it look easy. But that yesterday was crazy. That was crazy. It looked like Della Maddalena didn't belong in there with Prates. Now, if that's how Carlos fights from now on, if that's who he is today, a guy that really takes his time, is patient, can pick people apart like that, and he's huge for the weight class. He's a real issue. He's a real issue.
But the beatdown that he put on Jack and how Jack was able to stay on his feet and the fight go as long as it did is beyond me, because those knees that he was timing, the elbows, the shots, the kicks, the calf damage, I mean, it was just, it was hard to watch.
Yeah,
Jack Della Maddalena is a great guy, but my word, Carlos put a beat down on him.
But what we have been saying, or I've been saying on this podcast for a long time, is best of luck to the elite welterweights surviving 25 minutes under all the martial arts and weaponry that Carlos Prates brings to the table. And Islam Makhachev may be the guy, but Jack Della Maddalena was not the guy. And once again, Carlos Prates is able to knock out an elite welterweight contender, this time a former undisputed UFC welterweight champion. And in all likelihood, when the rankings come out later today, Carlos Prates, the Nightmare, going to be number 2 or number 1 in the world, and likely going to fight for the title in the not too distant future.
I train so hard. Sometimes I train 3 times per day. I really want to be a champ, you know. Brazil never had a champ on the welterweight division, so I really want to be the first one.
He noted that there's never been a Brazilian champion at 170 pounds, and he is going to be the first one. He didn't say, I want to be the first one. He said, I am going to be the first one. And obviously, he referenced the fact that in August, Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary are going to fight. Now, that is not officially announced.
I just wonder, I know everybody's kind of thinking Ian Gary is going to fight Islam, but there has been no announcement made on that. Does Prates jump the pack with this kind of performance, putting the guys away like this, putting a former champ away, 10-8ing him some of those rounds, hurting him to the legs, finishing him on the ground?
It just shows Carlos is that next level of MMA, of that new generation especially. He reminds me of the Brazilian soccer players, where you hear like, oh, they drink a little bit, they go out, they party, they're different than everybody else in the field. You always hear these rumors, but on game day, they're the ones that score 3-4 goals and you can't stop them. You can't ever lock them down. And Carlos brings that same swag where we know he drinks, he smokes cigarettes, he lives a beat that it's his own drums. And it's amazing to see when you put him in the cage what this guy does. The beauty that he paints with his fists, knees, elbows, and kicks. This guy is next level with the paintings. He's up there. I really think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon, because the amount of violence that he brings, he's going to have a cult following forever.
Even when Islam got his hand raised against Jack, Islam didn't really beat Jack up. He found a position, and he got there over and over. And as a community, we just go, oh, I guess Islam's the best. Islam went into that fight ranked number 2, pound for pound. He came out of it ranked number 1. Like, Islam must just be the best. But now that even gets called into question, doesn't it? I mean, all of a sudden, it doesn't look like Jack is the guy that should have been in there. Yeah, Prates whipped Jack. Jack got beaten by Islam. Same result, except one was fun to watch and yielded a finish. One was painfully boring and went all 25 minutes. I mean, in many ways, Carlos, using Jack as your constant, looked better than Islam.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand what the game plan of Jack was. I would have loved to have seen it be a little bit more competitive so we could get more answers. But I think the definitive answer that we got was Carlos Prates is him.
Wow, what a performance by Prates. What a performance. It was like a Muay Thai masterclass. He landed kicks, knees, elbows, like everything Muay Thai. He didn't do any spinning attacks, but still. And JDM was really focused on the boxing, and he was getting both his legs trashed, both of them. It ended in the third round. It was a brutal beating for JDM. I've never seen JDM take such a beating. Like, he's never taken such a beating. As a cornerman, I might have even stopped it if I was his cornerman. And the referee could have stopped it a little earlier. I wouldn't have complained. It was brutal, guys. JDM, both his legs were gone.
That was bad. Honestly, when I was watching this thing from afar, I thought to myself, how? Because I've never seen Jack get just beat on like that. But how does Prates win as they were going into the fight? I thought Jack Della Maddalena had a style that would present some real issues for Prates. No issues at all for Carlos. His punching power, his knees, his ability to go first, his calm demeanor. Carlos Prates is a madman. But in that fight, he was more patient than I've seen him fight in a long time.
A year ago, almost exactly to the day, Carlos Prates fought Ian Gary. This was a dramatically different human being in the cage in Perth against Jack Della. Dramatically different. I mean, completely different. He looked unbelievable. He was outstanding. Can't say enough good things about how he looked.
The fight was like the way I expected, you know. Every time the fight happened in my mind, like I trained many combos, like how I think I could knock him out, and I just did today, you know. He's a little bit more tough than I expected, but the fight was exactly the way I expected. I said, like, I will knock him out on the third round, and I knocked him out on the third round.
To make it look easy, to me, shows a level of mastery, right? The masters are the guys that do all the little things so well that they make it look natural. They make it look easy. And Carlos Prates made it look easy. And the variety of strikes, the pressure, even when he was going backwards, he is a freaking problem. Again, good luck dealing with that guy, because there's no ability to predict those patterns. He's throwing so much at you with so much ferocity and malintent.
The punches that Prates was landing, they were really hard, and at times it would really pop his head back. But those weren't even the most devastating strikes he was throwing. The leg kicks, obviously, it dropped JDM twice. Dude, so then he would get, so here's the nightmare that is dealing with Prates. He batters your leg, so then you switch stance so that your lead leg is not getting torn to pieces, but now you're in open stance. And so now he's taking that back leg and then whipping it to the ribs of JDM, and that was tearing him to pieces too. There's just nowhere to hide.
Carlos Prates looked fast. He looked explosive. JDM was struggling to figure out the range. The length and the speed had him just all over the place. He had no idea what to do. All he could do was cover up, try to get in close, and touch him with some hands. The problem that I saw was that he wasn't threatening the takedowns enough. But then again, it's hard to threaten those takedowns when you know that the knee has the potential of knocking you out. And in the way he was getting it done, the knees were coming from the angles. He was throwing knees from the side. When he would block, he'd throw the knees around the side. He'd throw the knees up the middle. He wasn't just throwing them to the head. He was throwing them to the body. He didn't care where he landed them, but he was throwing them everywhere. On top of that, using that long body of his for the long-range jabs and the long-range knees from outside. That was a master class.
Yeah, like it was tough to watch. Like yeah. See, knowing Jack, it was a great performance by Carlos. He did look unreal. It would have been cool to see all the Perth lads get it done with a clean sweep. But yeah, good stuff with with Carlos, yeah, he looked real fucking good in there that night.
He is a top 10 superstar in the UFC. I don't know when he sort of got to that threshold. The fan interest is absolutely off the charts. And I just remember after the Jeff Neal fight thinking, this is exactly the type of guy that the UFC would pay and build around. And really a guy who could be champion. And now he has left Leon Edwards and Jack Della Maddalena, 2 former undisputed welterweight champions, firmly in his wake.
I felt like Prates needed another one going into the Della Maddalena fight. Now, I don't believe that. The craziest thing about it, though, guys, is that because of the weight class being what it is, he might have to fight again. And boy, keep your fingers crossed. Because if he does, you hope that it's Morales, because you would imagine that Ian Gary's probably going to be the one that get the title fight. You can't run him and Gary back. It's too soon. But if it's him and Morales, especially if Ian and Islam are fighting, that'll be a sick pay-per-view, or numbered event is what we're calling it now.
I really would like to see Islam Makhachev prove he's the best welterweight on earth, because now I have bigger questions. Because look, he dominated Jack. Jack just got thumped. Like maybe Islam Makhachev was just the beneficiary of great timing for his move up. The way to prove it, fight a couple of the best welterweights on earth and prove you're the dude. I think he might be. I want to see it.